I hope that everybody have had enough meeting today and enough success in this very hard economical time. We are not in an easy phase in the polymer market, so that I want to talking about that, not about the market. I have not too much time, only 20 minutes, only prices. What is behind that price movement? So that after the COVID and after 2021, the price start to normalize. Parallel with the extension of Russian-Ukrainian war, that the price is not bad now, that it is a normal magnitude. That if you're talking about polypropylene, polyethylene, that nobody can complain about the prices. What is the problem? That with the prices just apparently seems apparently good, but in fact these prices are very hard to follow because that our expectation, or regular expectation, or seasonality is gone. Therefore, these prices they're practically good, but we doesn't count that prices. What is the characteristic on the prices now? What is the problem with that prices? In our analysis, you can see that 4 graphs. Each graph is highlighting what is the characteristic of the polymers that it's visible in the case of the HDPE blow molding. We inspected in this graphs that the spread between the polymers and the monomers. And it's visible in the case of the polyethylene since 1.5 years that the spread is negative. What does it mean, the spread negative spread? It's not a problem for the plastic converters, but it is a problem for the resin manufacturers. Because this negative spread, it means that their production cost doesn't covered by the polymer prices. Therefore, there is the continuous pressure in the market, continuous pressure in the prices, because the resin manufacturers always want to increase. But on the other hand, is a problem is the demand, the lack of the demand. This balance between on the market, especially in the case of low density and high density polyethylene, is very artificial. It is this balance can maintain only if the polymer manufacturers cut back the prices. It's not a healthy situation. The prices seems normal, as I mentioned, but there is a parallel problem, the availability and the lack of the demand. It is a double crisis behind these prices. It is not healthy, that price level, in the term of the market behave. And in the case of the polypropylene, we haven't seen that kind of problem because the margin is positive. What is behind this positive margin? The main reason is the lack of the imported polypropylene. In the case of the PP homopolymer, after the war is broken out, the Russian polypropylene homopolymer, which was strong on the Central European market, is totally disappeared. Is now available. Some another polypropylene you can met probably with the Kazakh petrochemical industry. They are just new on the market. They try to bring more polypropylene to Central Europe and Europe, but it is not substitute the huge amount of the Russian polypropylene which was in the past in the case of homopolymer. In the case of the copolymer, that the spread is very positive due to the not competitive imported material. What is behind that? In the past, the South Korean polypropylene was very competitive, always give us the lowest value in the price ranges, but nowadays, the PP copolymer imported from Far East is quite expensive and very hard to expect when it is arrived and which prices. What is the reason? Everybody knows the Red Sea issues. That we can say as a joke that the Houthi rebellists defend the European petrochemical industry because they makes the Far Eastern import more expensive. And I think the most dark story, not dark story, that gloomy story is EPS and polystyrene business. The EPS is very interesting and very important because it's mirroring what is in the European economy. EPS mostly is connected to the building and construction industry. And the building and construction industry is declining since many years. And nobody see the sign how it will develop in the close future. The demand is very low. The spread are negative and never been negative in the last 10 years, the EPS spread. And nowadays it is a new phenomenon. What is behind that, this negative spread? That the one most important factor is that in European producer not invested too much in the styrene value chain. Therefore, there is not too much styrene monomer capacity in Europe. We are very dependent on the imported styrene monomer and very dependent on the imported benzene. Therefore, it's not expectable how moving the price. In the past, we observed that 3 months price waves in the polystyrene. And on the other hand, the most important reason is this the decline in the building and construction sector in Europe. What is behind that? Altogether, if you're talking about the polymer market, that it is new, as I mentioned, that the balance on the market now is artificial balance. It is not an advantageous balance because the lack of the demand, the lack of the supply is give us this balance. I think it's most of you is read my previous forecast for the third quarter of this year, and we identify the very special waving in the polymer prices. In the past, the polymer price moved according to seasonality. Nowadays, the polymer price moving up and down due to the lack of the demand, due to the lack of the supply. This move up and down the prices. 25 weeks long waves visible, observed on the market. The question is, this waving will continue or not? I think, and it will not really continue because that the people is learned how is it moving. That they can't, that the price will increase, the special, I think it's especially in this September, is bring a surprise for everybody, because it was in the people mind, in the market, it was everybody mind that the demand will come in September and price will be the highest in September. And therefore, everybody start to buy in July and first half of August. I think the majority of the distributors reported for July a very good demand, unusual demand for summertime. The companies, the plastic converters try to pre-buy. And now, when September is come, that the demand is very limited. Everybody's expected, okay, that there will be something development, and now we see nothing on the market. But the expectation of the people is turned. Nobody expect more increase, that everybody is expecting a drop in the prices. But the drop couldn't be so deep because there is a limitation in availability on one hand. On the other hand, it was the new phenomenon, the imported price give us the bottom value. And the imported prices depend on the availability, depend on the transportation cost, is quite high now. Therefore, that only the small waves expectable till end of the years. And I think it was an unlucky situation for everybody that the oil price dropped in beginning of September and the naphtha price parallel with it, because it is occurred the drop in the monomer prices. It wasn't so advantageous for nobody, because it wasn't advantageous for the resin manufacturers because they want to increase their prices, one hand. On the other hand, it is a disadvantage for the plastic converters as well, because they are sitting on a, let's say, quite expensive stock, which is purchased previously in July or in August. So that traditionally I say some forecast in the next quarter. In the blue line is a present, and you can see some very slight price decrease in the coming months. It was 20, 30, 50 euro, depend on the grades. But according to the feedstock prices now, for October, we expect monomer drop 40, 50 euro, but in the market say that talking about 30, but somewhere between 30 and 50 euro will be the olefin monomer price drop. The styrene monomer is a big question mark always. That we couldn't expect because it depends on the benzene price and the availability of the European styrene monomers. But despite the fact that the polymer price curve is moved on different as we expected, the value is very, very similar what we expected. Before you can see that there's a small table, what was the value, the price value, what we expected for the week 37, and what is the reality, only the small difference between that. So that I think that in this year will be not really exciting. In the demand point of view, will be very quiet. And I think after to the US election, presidential election, expectable something in the oil prices. I expect a small increase because it is a political issue in US that keep the oil price and the fuel price low in the election period. And maybe some very slight increase is expectable, which can improve the monomer prices in December, but it will be not significant. I think that the behavior of the prices will change again, because that everybody remain very careful, and therefore these waves will be on the price curves, but it will be much more swallow than before. So that, what is the solution? So that when we step out this situation, I think it's everything is depend on what happened with the European economy. There is a graph you can see that which is show what's happened in the European industry in the previous years. 2021 is a 100%, and which is interesting that Germany, the role of the Germany is changing totally. That before the COVID, the German figure was 107%, and now is 93%. It is the industrial production. 2021 is 100%. It is one phenomenon. That another is the changing role of Poland. That the Poland shows the opposite curve. But the another countries like Hungary, like Czech Republic, is following the European average. But it is easy to make a statement that okay, Poland can take over the role of the Germany, but I think in long term it is possible. But the complexity of Poland is never. It takes time to reach that complexity, that integration ability that is this Germany have now. But the tendency is very interesting. That in Central Europe we have some growing opportunity if we utilize that on right way. And on the other hand is a big problem for Hungary and those small economy which is hanging on to the German automotive industry should find out another way for the future. My last slide is I want to opening with this slide discussion. It is a difference, let's say, spread between the virgin low density and polypropylene homopolymer and recycled low density and polypropylene homopolymer, which is very obvious from this slide. That despite the waving and the changing of the virgin polymers, the recycled material price remained very, very flat, very stable, and on very low level. And I would like to investigate what is the reason behind, with the help of the panelists of the next session. And I would like to call that the participant of this panel to the stage, because we continue the discussion in live. That what is the situation in the recycling market, what is expectable, what is the right solution